Hello, good people on the planet, wherever you are. Welcome to my channel on drone topics. Today, I'm going to be talking about something that I've never heard discussed in my journey with FPV. Now, officially, when I had all the controls right, because somebody told me how to make this control wrong, but when I got all the controls in order, the sticks in order, now I've been flying a drone technically with the right advice for roughly a week. But it's been longer than that, because I think I tried last year, but then I had a mistake with my drone. It fell in the puddle because my sticks was off, thanks to that person who told me the wrong information, but it fell in the puddle, and after that I stopped. But now I got back into FPV. Officially, I've been flying, in my mind, since I got the controls right, set up correctly, I've been flying for a week. I've been thinking in that week. No one has ever told me the purpose of these sticks movement. And one more thing before I do that, I want to talk about the angle of your drone. Usually, from what I hear, most people say when they have that angle set, they do it at 10 degrees. So it's a little tilt like this, 10 degrees. That's good in the beginner mode. But since I'm a beginner, I have mine tilted at 5 degrees. So when it's tilted at 5 degrees or 10 degrees, it's basically sitting as if it was a GPS drone. So it's not too unwieldy. But it really has to do with the pitch. Because the more it's tilted, the faster the pitch will be. It'll start going faster. Since it's at 10 degrees, it's basically like an FPV drone, or a GPS drone. So initially, it will start off slow, and when you keep pushing that stick, the speed increase. Alright, so I got that out of the way. The first thing you should do if you're a new FPV pilot, set your drone, set your tilt either at 10 degrees or 5 degrees. And that way, you won't be making a ton of crashes. I still crash, but I don't make a bunch of crashes. If I fly 5 times, I may crash once. So that's low. Alright, so now let's get into these the control sticks. I've been thinking. No one has ever told me the purpose of when we move these sticks. I've been thinking about that. Since I have the degree related to the scientist, you have to think a lot. So I thought. So I was thinking about the throttle. It goes up and down. But when you do FPV, you're supposed to be moved. It's supposed to not switch back to the center. And there's a reason for that. I'm going to go over that. So once more, when you give it throttle in FPV, it usually stay where you put it at. It don't snap back to the center. Here we go. Here's my little drone right here. The throttle controls the rotation of these propellers. This rotates this way, and this one rotates the opposite way. But it controls the propeller. Everything on your drone is mechanical, but the propellers are truly mechanical. They are truly mechanical because they're the ones, they power the engine. They get the drone off the ground. So the propellers, so the throttle is, if I give it a little bit of throttle forward, it will go up slow. It'll keep that momentum too. It'll keep going up slow because my stick is staying right there. It'll keep going up slow. If I bring it down, it'll go down slowly. But you see, the reason it won't snap back to the center, because if it snap back to the center, I want it to come down, but it snap back to the center, then it has to stop. That's why, in my assessment, the throttle stick will not go back to the center, because since it's truly mechanical, and I don't have nothing to do with no mechanical. I don't control the motion of these propellers. I just control how fast I'm going up. I control the spin of the propellers. I control the spin of it, which way, and the rotation of it. I control, because if I'm coming down, I'm sure the propellers are going in the opposite direction. But I don't control the spin while it's spinning. So, since I don't control while it's spinning, if it snaps back to the middle part, it's going to stop moving. That's my assessment. Man, let's get into the yaw. So we got the throttle. The throttle go, if I move it forward slowly, it will go up slowly. If I push it all the way up, it'll go up real fast. That's your throttle. And it don't snap back, because if it snapped back to the center, the throttle would just it just stopped. Almost be like a GPS drone. I believe. I never tried it, but that's what I'm assuming. Now, the yaw. You know, if I go left, now the yaw stick, it snaps back to the middle. It snaps back. Because with the yaw, I control the yaw. I make it turn left or right. But here's the catch. When I push it and let go, it may snap back, but it's obeying my last command. To stop it from doing this, I had to tilt it in the opposite direction, and that would slow the yaw from going to the right. So that's the big thing right there. I'm going to say it again. The yaw, if I tilt it all the way to the right, it's going to spin around real fast. And it keeps spinning and keeps spinning. Because I, the human, gave it that input. Even though it snapped back to the center, I gave it that last command to keep going around and around and around. So it will. To stop it from going around and around and around, I have to go in the opposite direction. Now slowly descend it until it just stops. Okay, so I hope that's clear with the yaw. You control that. You have made the drone yaw. With throttle, I don't. The propeller's always spinning. Always spinning. So it's gonna keep spinning no matter what. So that's why it stayed in that position. It keeps going up and up and up because it's stuck in that command. But with throttle, with yaw, since I gave it that stick input, it will keep going that way forever, even if it switches back to the center. All right, so we got that out the way. We got throttle and yaw. Now let's go to the pitch side. I'm gonna show you. You see the pitch? No matter which way I do it, it still snaps back to the center, as I said with the yaw. If I pitch a little bit forward, the drone will slightly tilt. If I push it all the way, it's gonna spin around and around and around. Now, but here's the point. If I tilt it forward a little bit, it'll tilt. Even if I release the stick, it's obey my last command to stay in that position. It went back to its normal position. It's not gonna make it go back because it went back on its own. I didn't input it in. Now, if I want to do my roll, I either go left or right. I'll move it. See, I'm giving it a command. I'm giving it a command to slightly roll. So it will keep rolling in that way until I tell it to stop. I tell it to stop by going in the opposite direction. But even if I let go and it snap back to the center, the computer made it snap back to the center, not the human input. So it will obey the human input and just keep turning and turning until I give it that opposite direction. So, good people, I hope that gave you some insight into the stick commands. I just gave it my little assessment. It may be more technical than that, but that's my little assessment of it. For throttle, the propellers are always spinning. I just control how high and fast it goes and how low it goes. It will keep spinning forever. So, and we got to keep it in that position because I wanted to keep go. When you go down, I wanted to keep going down, so it's obeying my command. It won't. So if it snapped back to the center, it'll stop. I hope that gave you some insights until FPV, the stick commands. I never once saw. I've been watching. Definitely now, I've been watching FPV videos for the last 3 months in my endeavor to become an FPV pilot. I never saw somebody go over what the stick commands mean. I hope this gives you some insights into FPV stick commands. Till the next time, au revoir.